Thank you for waiting patiently, Keisha. Go ahead and unmute. Floor is yours.
What's going on, Noble? Hey, everybody in the box.
How you doing?
Um, Auntie just left. She was still the shit. Just to respond to the video you was playing, like at the end of the day, I just think it's a lot of misconceptions, right? Because just because you live in the hood, that don't equal that you hood, right? You
Right.
just the city, the hood is just short for the neighborhood, right? It's a neighborhood you live in, right? So at the end of the day, we if the right black men get with the right black women, it's gonna be all good. In the vetting process, they're not saying to vet to make sure the man got money or the woman got a fat ass. They saying vet to see how the person is, how they carry themselves, how they move about, who are they, how do they show up in the world? Do the money define them? Do the clothes define them? You know what I'm saying? What is their intention? What is their character? What is their integrity? And a lot of people that live in the hood are good people, men and women. Sometimes we run across bad men and we take it out on all men and vice versa. Men run into not so good women and they take it out on all women. But at the end of the day, like if we not sticking together, then we assed out, man. We gotta stick together. We gotta stop coming on these platforms talking about men need to do this, women need to do this. If you're a woman, check yourself. If you're a man, check yourself and make sure you showing up in the world as the best version of yourself. Because at the end of the day, when I got with my husband some 8 years ago, I didn't show up as a good woman. My husband loved me through my trash. My husband loved me through my nonsense. All the nonsense that I brought into the relationship, it was me. Because I was hurt by other men. And I brought that baggage to him. And my husband loved me through that. So sometimes we as women, I'm gonna just talk about me as a woman, as a black woman, I gotta take responsibility for my own behavior. My behavior will make me have bad outcomes. The folly of my own self will destroy my own home. So I gotta be accountable for how I show up in the world. I gotta be accountable for the things that I do in the world. I gotta take a look at me. I gotta say, Jerome, bring me the mirror, because at the end of the day, I gotta take a look at Keish. Because if I'm not showing up thorough, how can I expect my man to be thorough? How can I expect the man that I'm looking for to be thorough? So I gotta do better. I gotta grow up. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times I'm 50 years old, so when I was younger, I got sex confused with love. So I would have sex thinking that I was in love. And as I got older, that love and sex are two different things. So I had to realize that. And at the end of the day, it's good black men and it's good black women, man. At the end of the day, we got to stop that shit. We got to stop blaming the other sex. We got to stop saying it's you. We got to stop saying this. All we got to do is just come together and rock with each other. Be there for the generation that's coming up behind us, right? Noble, you said you 25, and so some things that went on after the generation after us, that has a lot to do with my generation. That has a lot to do with the people before you guys, right? Because that's where y'all get your information from. That's who y'all watch. So at the end of the day, we as the older generation must take responsibility for that and try to fix it and try to mend it. Because at the end of the day, like what we see on TV is not reality. That's entertainment purposes. Them city girls and all that other stuff, that's entertainment purposes. So at the end of the day, if we don't got parents in the home letting the kids know, like that's for entertainment. Cause them city girls got men, right? The
Right.
hot girls, summer girls, they got men.
Right.
Beyonce talking about women rule the world. She kicking it with Jigga Man. So at the end of the day, if we allowing music and the TV to raise our children, we got to take another look at ourselves. Like, come on. Cause they don't even live that what they're putting on TV.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we gotta be there to grow the community. We can't bash each other and we have other races bashing us. That don't match, man. That don't match, man. We gotta be there for each other. We gotta come together and we gotta love on each other no matter what. And we gotta be there for each other. You know what I'm saying? And get a higher power. I'm not telling you I'm not telling you it got to be my guy, but just get you a guy, somebody that's leading you. And women get it confused that if you submit to a man, you being controlled by a man. That don't equal that. Because if you submitting to a man and he's submitting to God, it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation. So at the end of the day, man, I just want us to grow as a community, man. I just want us to look outside the box. And for all the stereotypes, we can change that. And we don't have to perpetuate the stereotypes. We can start looking the other way and say, hey, well, it is good black men and women out here, man. It's good black men and women out here. Let's focus on them, and maybe the others will follow if we put out a good president, if we put out a good role model to follow, if we get on these apps and be bringing each other up instead of tearing each other down. Let's change the narrative. Every time I go on somebody's platform, somebody tearing the other gender down. That ain't good, man. That ain't good. We gotta get some love in our hearts. We gotta be there. You know what I'm saying? For the next generation, because we gonna be old. I'm already old. And I'm gonna get older. So the next generation gotta make sure I'm good. So we not setting an example for them, like we gonna be asked out. We ain't gonna be able to do nothing, man. So at the end of the day, we have to take responsibility for our own behavior, man. Some men and some women don't want to look at themselves and be like, I'm the problem. Cause I know, like when I look back them 8 years ago, when I look back over it, I was the fucking problem. And sometimes we just gotta admit that shit and fix it so we can move forward and do better. I grew up in the 90s also. I grew up in the crack era. I grew up in that. And like the young man said earlier, ain't nobody on the block selling coke. I grew up in that. We was on the block with it. I grew up in that. So, but nobody is doing that now. Nobody ain't on the block with it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like just come the fuck on, man. We can do better. We can do this shit. We was doing it, right? We was doing it in back in the day. We was doing it. And we can continue to do it. We got it in us. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of all the things that black people have gone through, we got it in us to stand behind each other, to be there for each other. And my husband got my back 100%, and I got his. Good, bad, or indifferent. We rock out together. We in the community doing things at the rec centers for the kids. We out here. And I think that if everybody that's talking about things on these apps is out there in their community making a difference, then shit'll be better. Then we can come back to TikTok like, yo, shit is getting better. Shit is not remaining the same. But if we want to change, we got to be that change. We want to see the change. Gandhi said, if you want to see the change, be the change. So that's what we try and do. And if we had more people doing it, I think we could be more successful. Let's stop tearing each other down, man. We all have heartache, hurt, and pain, but we can heal through that shit and move through that shit. We all been hurt. Some people haven't. I know people have been in a relationship 35 years, same person. They go through stuff, but they haven't been hurt. But the ones that have been hurt, like just heal from that shit and keep it moving. Keep enough love in your heart to know that shit will get better. That's all I'm saying, man. The shit can get better. And it's not a lost cause because I see these young boys out here that would have went a different way. And if it wasn't for me and my husband doing the things, getting the grants, because there's a lot of grant money out there that will help the community. Doing the things and helping these kids, man, is making them turn a whole different way. They're getting A's and B's in school. They being respectful. They raking the lawns. They shoveling the snow. You know what I'm saying? But you give them some encouragement. Don't tell them they're gonna be just like their mom or their dad. Tell them they can be whatever they want to be. Tell them that it's okay, even though you are black. You can do these things, even though you have other things that another race may not have to overcome. You can overcome that shit, and you can be a productive member of society, man. Regardless of all that other shit, if we got other races tearing us down, why we gonna tear us down too? That shit don't make no sense to me. It just don't make no sense to me. So we be out here 5 days out the week. We be out here. Only day we don't go is Sundays and Mondays. Saturday is our main day. We out here. We doing what we can do for the community, not just talking about it, but being about it. So that's all I'm saying. Like if we come together more, the more people we're gonna reach, the more young people we're gonna reach, and the more we can build up our communities, man. And that's just all I really had to say. I got a lot of love for you, know you always throw on here. You a young man, and I respect you. I'm always in your lives. Every time you come on, I respect you a lot because you are fair. You have your own thoughts and your own points, but you're very fair, and I really respect that. And that's all I really had to say.
Thank you, Miss Keisha. I appreciate it, and thank you for I've been learning a lot. I've been learning very recently. A lot of people be watching me, so very much more mindful of what I say and how I conduct myself on here now. But I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate you coming on here. You're always free to come on here. You have a great night. All right.
All right, you too. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.